Pyongyang is ready to discuss denuclearization at US showdown. Trump finally called out Putin by name over Assad's chemical weapons attack, and Mexico-Germany relationship is at an all-time high. Hello and welcome to today's edition of Mexico News Network's Breaking News Business. I'm Elliot Bullman. Let's go to the information. North Korea has promised the United States it's ready to discuss the future of its nuclear arsenal when the two nations' leaders meet, US officials say. Preparations for the summit have included secret direct talks with North Korea, Trump administration sources told CNN. US and North Korean intelligence officials are said to have spoken many times and met in a third country. The unprecedented summit is slated to happen in late May, early June. It'll be the first time a sitting US president has met the leader of North Korea. North Korea has already told South Korea it was prepared to address denuclearization, but this is the first time assurances have been given to Washington directly. Details of the leaders' summit, including the location, remain unclear. CNN sources said that the North Koreans are pushing to have the meeting in their capital, Pyongyang, with Mongolian capital Ulaanbaatar another option. It's not clear if Pyongyang accepts Washington's definition of denuclearization, which for the White House means the end of its nuclear weapons program. The North has previously halted missile and nuclear tests during past talks, only to resume them when it's lost patience or felt its demands were not being met. In other news, after months of praise, calling him smart, congratulating his re-election, floating forming a cybersecurity unit, President Donald Trump finally called out Russian President Vladimir Putin by name on Twitter on Sunday for the first time since taking office. Trump placed part of the blame on Putin for the suspected chemical attack that has killed at least 40 people in Douma, Syria on Saturday. Putin's government has backed Syrian government forces for years, while the US has sided with the opposition rebels. President Putin, Russia and Iran are responsible for backing Animal Assad, Trump tweeted, referring to Russia's support of Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. A big price to pay, tweeted Trump. Ian Bremner, president of geopolitical risk firm Eurasia Group, said that if the US can get confirmation that chemical weapons were indeed used, Trump will probably order a strike like he did in April 2017 after the US concluded Assad's regime was behind another chemical attack. Lawmakers from both parties have encouraged Trump to make the call. Senator John McCain of Arizona went so far as to say that Trump's pledge to withdraw US troops from Syria actually emboldened Assad. President Trump responded decisively when Assad used chemical weapons last year. He should do so again and demonstrate that Assad will pay a price for his war crimes, McCain said. The Trump administration is already imposing sanctions on Russian oligarchs and entities and has expelled dozens of Russian diplomats. Bremner said the US could decide to impose harsher sanctions on the country, conduct cyber attacks, or even release embarrassing information about Putin. Former President Barack Obama didn't escalate into this territory, however, Bremner said, because Obama recognized there was a potential for escalation that was quite dangerous. Trump also criticized Obama in a follow-up tweet on Sunday, saying that his predecessor should have drawn a red line in the sand. There's one thing we know is that Trump absolutely wants to show that he's the opposite of Obama, Bremner said. In other news, ties between Germany and Mexico date back as far as 1803, when Alexander von Humboldt traveled to New Spain with the French explorer and botanist Aimé Bonpland, who collected and classified thousands of native plant species unknown in Europe during his time there. Today, Mexico enjoys a strong trading relationship with Germany and close ties in the fields of science and technology, culture, the arts and other areas, thanks to initiatives like the Dual Year of 2016-2017, intended to promote mutual understanding, cooperation and exchange. Germany has been an important strategic partner to Mexico and has accompanied it on its journey to energy reform, which culminated in April 2016 during President Enrique Peña Nieto's state visit to Germany, with the signing of a strategic alliance for the promotion of technological exchange and investment in more efficient energies. The constant flow of investment and the strong presence of German companies in Mexico and vice versa demonstrate just how solid relations between the two nations are. According to the Ministry of Economy, Germany invests in a total of $14.17 billion in Mexico between 1999 and 2016. More than 76% of this capital was funneled into the manufacturing industry, primarily the automotive sector, and has been a decisive factor in the country's increased competitiveness in recent decades. By the same token, German companies have a long-standing tradition of doing business in Mexico, with some 2,000 firms employing between 120,000 and 150,000 people. Just recently, Siemens celebrated its 100th anniversary in Mexico, and Volkswagen opened its second-largest plant in Puebla over 50 years ago. Meanwhile, companies like Prettl and Airbus Helicopter have set their sights on the aerospace industry. Siemens, Linde, and more recently Harting have all invested in the energy sector, and Deutsche Erdöl won the first oil exploration tender of Round 2 for Area 2, Tampico-Misantla. Likewise, BASF and Lanxess have invested in the chemical sector, while Bayer, Merck and Boehringer Ingelheim have invested in the pharmaceutical industry. LH Cargo, DHL, K&N and Panalpina have invested in transportation and logistics, to give you just a few examples. Mexico has over €1 billion tied up in Germany, making it the country's leading Latin American investor. Mexican companies with a presence in Germany include Cemex, Condumex, Nemak from Grupo Alfa, Corporation EG, Mexichem, Grupo Bocar, and more recently IUSA in solar power. Mexico's participation in the Hannover Messe Industry Institute this April will serve to launch a new era in economic relations with Germany and attract more investment in engineering, research and development centers, and the advanced manufacturing and automated production and logistics processes that will carry the country into the future. The consolidation of strategic bilateral relationships with Germany is a chance for Mexico to take a qualitative leap in its industrial development. Germany is a country that has always looked to the future, and Mexico is definitely part of that future. This was all for today. Thank you for staying with us. I'm Elliot Bullman. Remember to follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Google+, and log on to MexicoNewsNetwork.com for more information on Mexico and the world. Until next time.